excited about our conversation on today. So we hope that you are here and ready to hear some incredible information. And so on today, we have a very special guest that is joining us. And oh my goodness, get ready to take some notes because this lady knows what she's talking about. You guys know we're talking about mastering your money. And so let me give you a little bit of her background so you'll know about who this phenomenal woman is. And that's none other than Helen Crawley Austin.
Hey.
Hey, Helen, I'm so glad you're with us today. She, you guys, is a native of Steubenville, Ohio. Helen holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Electrical Engineering from Ohio University and a Master's of Science degree in Computer Science from Howard University. All right, Gloria, that's your alma mater.
Are you from Howard?
Howard in the house. She has presented to, mentored, and helped thousands, you guys, of individuals with their personal finances, and with her background in engineering and her executive leadership. Helen has traveled, you guys, extensively all over, helping people to reduce debt now to accumulate wealth later. I know you can get excited about that. She is a former vice president of Lucid Technologies, and now she is the current business owner of Beyond Consulting Solutions Incorporated, a technical consulting firm, and Mastering Money, which is a financial literacy firm. So welcome, Helen, to the Force of Friendship. You know, we're the girlfriend experts. So we're going to get this party started. I have a question.
Okay.
That I want to ask you that I know is on a lot of people's mind. Okay, we're in the new year, Helen, and we're coming off of Christmas, and I know that some people may have spent too much money buying presents, and now they've accumulated some credit card debt. So, Helen, please tell our girlfriends and us, what is the first step that they need to do to get rid of that credit card debt?
First of all, put the credit cards in the freezer. Put them in the freezer. That's what I tell people. If you can't control that, put it in the freezer so we can stop the bleeding first. And then you really need to figure out what your money goal is. So, I mean, some people need to reduce the debt. Some people need to pay off the cars. Some people need to do a whole lot of things. So you need to figure out what your goal is, what you're trying to do, because without the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. And you will continue. Even though you say you want to get out of debt, if you don't set a goal around what you're trying to do, you might pay some debts off, but you're going to be right back in credit card debt when it comes to vacation. So set a goal. That's the first step. Put them in the freezer, set a goal, and then get to work.
Right.
Okay, so that's the first thing they have to do. They got to set a goal, because if you don't have a goal, then hey, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And then that's the first time I heard that's a way to freeze your debt.
Put them in the freezer, you can't use them.
Well, you know what? I know that Gloria has a burning question she want to ask you as well about money.
Okay.
You know, I am so excited. Now that I know you came from Howard, I'm like so excited. So excited. Okay, so here's a question, because I am loving the freezer, so I don't know what else is going to come out your mind. This is good. Good. Okay, my question is, when women want to start to save money for a rainy day, and that has not been the pattern that they grew up with, what is some advice that you teach them how to start saving money for a rainy day?
So first of all, I had a lot of people tell me, like, I have no extra money. I can't save for a rainy day. Like, I'm at 100%. So first of all, you got to do a budget, right? Because you got to figure out where you're spending your money. But then I've proven to every person who said that to me that they do have extra money.
Wow.
So there's a couple of things you can do. One is, first of all, let me just tell you this example. I had a young lady who said, I have nothing to save. I cannot save. So I had her do a 30-day cash only. She could only use cash for 30 days. She saved $900.
Wow.
$900 that month. And I said, if you took $500, take $400 back, take $500 of those dollars and put them on your mortgage, you pay your mortgage off in 5 years. We looked at how much she had left on her mortgage. That is the kind of thing that generates you to save. Like if you just save you're saving for no purpose, you probably will not save it. At the end of the day, you're gonna buy a purse, you're gonna buy some shoes. But if you have a purpose for it, then that drives you. You have a reason for making the sacrifices that you're making. So basically what she did was quit eating out. Wow. It's also proven that if you use cash, you will spend 20% less than the debit card. It's so easy to use that debit card. You ain't even paying no attention.
20% less?
20% less.
That's major.
Major. Absolutely major. So, and we did a nationwide cash only challenge. I had so many testimonies of how much money people save.
Really?
So but then there are other things you could do. Like I tell everybody in January, look at all of your policies, your monthly subscriptions, and reevaluate them all. So insurance, it's time to look at insurance. Go from Allstate to State Farm. It's amazing that and combine your house and your cars and all that kind of stuff. The other thing is cable. So I'm about to convert cable.
Don't talk about cable.
I'm converting cable.
Talk about it.
I mean, this is a big industry problem. So for people who are not high tech, they're like, I need my cable because I don't understand the Fire Stick and all. You got to get with it. Because when I tell you could get every single channel, live, local, nationwide, CBS News in Miami, New York, for like $14.99.
With Fire Stick.
$14.99.
Hello.
I tell you, I'm telling you this. You just hit it. You know how when somebody talks, they start jabbing you in the neck? Because I told myself after Thanksgiving and my family went home, I was going to do just that. And here we are, almost the end of January. I haven't done it yet, but you just said $14. I don't even want to tell you what my cable bill is. That's ridiculous.
Mine too. So, and my husband, it's only because I'll try anything. Like I will try it. My husband's like, turn my cable off. You can do all this mastery money stuff you want to, but turn my cable off. So my friends did it, and I went to their house and I played around with it, and I looked at all the channels, and I FaceTimed him so he could see, like, you could get everything. I'm watching Chicago news. I'm in Miami, right, live, and so it's an industry issue. It's really big. Like the cable companies are scrambling. Because I can get Netflix and I can get me a Fire Stick. Legal companies now. You ain't gotta like. These kids are breaking the Fire Stick and breaking into the network. No. I'm saying legally, you can get everything you need with the Fire Stick and a service behind it. So cable is one. Mobile phone services. Maybe you need to reduce the data plan. If you're really not using a lot of data on your phone, you're just using it for texting and calling, you can reduce your data plan and save significantly on that. So there's you got to go look at all your policies and reevaluate them. And you can save $200-300 a month, which is $1,200 a year. Put that somewhere.
Wow. Helen, that was awesome. That was awesome right there. I mean, you talk about the girlfriend experts, bringing girlfriend experts to the table. You've just rocked, I was going to say you just rocked a whole lot of people's lives. Right. Now, I don't know about all them other people, but you truly rocked mine. Okay, for real.
But let me just tell you the biggest one for us is eating out. Eating out. Just eat. So eating healthy.
Yes.
Can save you a lot of money. Eating healthy, cooking your meals, meal prepping them, because it forces you not to go out when you're hungry. You just stop somewhere because I'm hungry. Right. But if you are, or you didn't have time to cook dinner, but if you meal prep on Sunday, even if you do a protein-based diet for 30 days, you know how much money you're going to save on meat? And it's going to clean you out. Right? I mean, like, it's a win-win situation.
Everything's going to be reduced.
But eating out, we had one lady, actually, she was a single mom, only had one kid, so that she didn't cook. Right. She didn't realize she was spending $1,200 a month eating out.
Wow.
What?
$1,200.
Wow.
And people don't think they spend that much, but if you actually track it, you would be very, very surprised. Wow. And multiply that times 12, and that's how much money. The thing about it, if we spend $200 a month on cable, times 12 months, that's 2,400 times 10 years. That's $24,000 we gave for the cable company.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I'm telling you, I gotta pass this more. I'm uncomfortable because we have to finish this live so I can go and call my.
Okay, keep going.
I gotta go in my freezer.
Right, exactly. So Nora, I know you want to talk to Helen and let us
Oh,
know.
I want to talk to Helen. Oh my goodness. You know what? First of all, let me say, thank you for being on here with the Girlfriend Experts, the Force of Friendship, but you have confirmed for me what I have been doing. So that is like, and the next thing I'm gonna do is a cable. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. But as far as laying out that budget and seeing where I'm going and having that goal and tracking it and saying in a year I'm going to be here. I mean, everything you have been saying has been extremely powerful. And I'm so glad that I'm getting to meet you face to face, because Chris has talked about you so much. I felt like I knew you, really knew you. So thank you again for being on here. But my question is, what kind of credit cards would you say that we should avoid or use? What kind of credit cards, if you had to have a credit card, what kind of credit card should
major credit cards?
Major credit
cards. Here's where people get in trouble: the retail stores. And so think about why when you walk in a store and you get to the cash register, the first thing they say is, if you open a credit card, you save 20%. Right. And everybody's like, really? Sign me up, right? The reason why they do that is they want your interest. They know you might pay it off the first 2-3 months, but there's a high probability one of those months they're gonna get some interest out of you.
Right.
So they're willing to give you the 20% because the majority of people will pay interest every single month.
Wow.
So the retail stores, I say, stay away from the 20% when you add it up. And sometimes it's like $5. They're gonna get like $100 worth of interest at least, but right, it's $2 or $5, but they just say 20%, and that 20% sounds really good. Right. So stay away from retail stores. If you want to use a credit card, use it so you can pay it off every single month. The other thing is furniture stores. So when you buy furniture, you ever seen commercials where they say, buy it, you don't pay no payments for 6 months?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, shoot, I'm in 6 months I had this paid off. Wrong. I mean, I'm saying like 60% of the people don't pay it off in 6 months, and the interest rate is like 29%.
What?
Retroactive.
Right.
So they get it's like huge. Like you think, like, why would they give me the furniture for 6 months for free?
Right.
It is a racket.
Right.
It's a wonderful racket. So save up for your furniture and buy it when you get the money.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have it now, you probably ain't gonna have it in 6 months.
Right.
And it's so interesting that you would say that, because I had maybe a couple of years ago did my downstairs. I had a living room, and living rooms that those glorified living rooms that nobody ever sits in.
Right.
So I decided to turn it into this amazing office. We did everything, and it was empty for about almost a year. And my brother-in-law came over and he said, "When are you gonna put some furniture in there?" I said, "I'm saving my money for the lamp, for the chair, for this, and everything else. I was not going to put that on and I agree with you. And so, because that's how they get you. You do it in 6 months, and daggone well, if it's $30,000, you are not going to pay that off in nobody's 6 months. So thank you for just confirming that.
Right.
And I'm going to turn it over to my super bad girlfriend from the Force of Friendship, Katrina Harris Earl in Chicago.
Let me say one other thing real quick before we go to another question. This may not be for you, but it's for a lot of people within our community to stay away from payday loan stores.
Oh, absolutely.
It is actually criminal.
Yeah.
You could end up paying, you think you're paying interest by the week. People pay interest by the week, right? It ends up being like 600% interest annually.
Jesus.
And people get caught up to the point where they can't get out of it because they owe their whole paycheck every week and they just can't get out of it.
Right.
And so that is one that we've got. If you got family members, like we all got family members that they do. I've heard some crazy stories, but payday loan stores is one. Like, loan your family member some money for.
Right.
Don't let them go to the payday loan store.
Right.
Anyway, I had to add that in because that's a huge problem.
Right.
Wow. Well, this is so juicy. And I know our girlfriends, I know they're asking us questions online, and we're going to be sure. Helen, I want to ask you a question, but before I do that, what's the name of your book? Can you tell us the name of your book and how people can get your book? Because I know they're going to want to follow you, and just a little bit about your service and what you, can we talk to you after the show? Okay.
So I'm not a writer, I'm an engineer, right? But I wrote a book. It's a Mastering Money 30-day devotional. And what I tried to do was use a quote every day about a particular money issue, share my insights, my belief systems, how I grew up, how I think about it. Right. And then at the end of every chapter, you get a chance to write your thoughts, what you're going to do different, what commitment you're going to make at the end of the book. So it's really like a little workbook around money. I talk about real estate, how I got into it, my mindset around budgeting. More money than everybody around me. So everybody borrowed money from my friends, my family, my aunts, my cousins, everybody would call me to co-sign. And I would make them do a budget before I would loan anybody money. Right. And so my pastor actually said, Helen, you should do an economic development session. And for 2 days. I said, what am I going to talk about for 2 days? And that's how Mastering Money was birthed. And so what I have done was really focused on debt, credit. We spent 1 year helping 1,000 people fix their credit report, just around Chicago, around the world. But this year I'm focusing more on, like, if you follow me over the last 10 years and you don't have your credit report right and you don't have your debt right, I got to keep going. I got to keep moving. Now we're going to talk about wealth generation. So I'm helping people with home ownership and real estate and getting their kids through college without student loan debt. Because that's one answer I don't have. If you got people ask me, Helen, I got $100,000, $200,000 worth of student loan debt and my kid in 9th grade. And so, what am I going to do? I don't have an answer for that. But what I can do is reach back and tell you how to position your kids so that the next generation can afford a house.
Absolutely.
People can't afford houses now because of student loan debt. They don't qualify. Debt to income ratio too high.
Wow.
It's an amazing issue for a lot of people. But anyway, go ahead. What was the next question? I have the question.
Yes. I mean, you began to talk about it because my question is, I wanted to talk home ownership.
Get the book on Amazon. And I'm coming out with 3 other books. So they're coming out soon, hopefully by spring. One, Women and Money, Marriage and Money, and so what was the next question? Did I get to your question?
Yes, I wanted to ask you about home ownership for just a couple tips for first-time home buyers, or even those that already own a home, about real estate investment. Is that still one of the best places to invest?
Yes. So I feel like real estate is the home ownership first before you try to buy your own. So there's a couple things. If you're single, young, no family, I say buy your first piece of property and make it like a 2-flat or 3-flat, right? Have somebody else live in. You get a feel for investing, but you're living right there. Any questions, any problems, you're there. They're paying your mortgage, you're not. And then within 1 year, you can move out. Now, why would you do that? When you're owner occupied and you live in the house, your down payment is 3%. If you buy investment property, your down payment is 20%. So a lot of people have a hard time getting that 20%, but you can be an investor, live in a house for a year, move out, rent it, and go buy another house that you live in.
Wow.
And you stay 3%.
That's so smart.
Really smart.
I had a friend, one girl, she asked me to coach her in Virginia, and she was single and she moved 4 times and bought 4 pieces of investment property on the beach in Virginia Beach. Wow. And she still has it now. So now her properties are worth a lot. And she just moved from never paid 20% down payment, 3% every single time.
Wow, that's excellent.
So for home ownership, the key thing I tell people, like people go, I have my home ownership programs, and then I I have a group of people that I refer people to because everybody ain't honest. They just want to close on a house, right?
Right.
So within my church, we have a whole effort going on, right? But I want people to have a house fund first. Because if you're living on the edge, even if you can qualify for a house, if something goes wrong in the house, you got to go in debt to fix it.
Right.
Right. So I say get a house fund, pay your debt down. So when you move in a house, that it's not painful for you. You still can go on vacation. You can still take your kids to McDonald's. But some people are already living on the edge. They qualify for a house right on the edge, and then they lose it, or it's just struggle. It's painful, right? So I'm helping people get out of debt, get an emergency fund, a house fund. And I just had a young couple, took them 2 years to get their credit report right, 2 years to pay off their debt. Every income tax return, we looked at it, paid off a specific amount of debt, saved some, paid some, right? And now they just moved into their house, and it's freedom. They can afford it. They ain't got no debt. They can pay their mortgage payment. It's just a beautiful thing. So you just have to be careful because everybody wants you to rush to get a house.
Right.
It may not need to rush to get a house.
Right.
You take your time and do it right.
Absolutely. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
This is
That
so
is
good.
awesome.
Wow.
Helen,
So-
I was just going to ask Helen about your social media. How do people follow you? Do you work only with people locally, or how can people access?
No. So I have a Mastering Money group site that people can join. I also have a Helen Crawley Austin page. I have a website, helencrawleyaustin.com. So there's lots of ways to reach me. So this year, what I'm going to do after January, I have lots of speaking engagements, January 1st to February, but I'm going to start having challenges, national challenges like I did before. We had like a month where you don't eat out. People were going crazy, but they didn't eat out, saved a lot of money, cash, savings. We had a savings competition, and Hyatt actually gave out the gift, a free weekend, and it was who could save the most money. We had a hairdresser save $40,000 in 1 month.
No
What?
way.
Wow.
No way.
1 month?
She did weaves around the clock. She didn't even sleep.
Competition wanted to win that.
Nonstop, 7 days a week.
Oh my goodness.
And she saved. I'm not saying made. I'm saying she saved. After paying her bills, $40,000.
Wow.
And she won the high.
I'm about to go
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's the girlfriend expert right there. That's girlfriend expert talk right there. Wow. That's excellent.
Wow.
So you can do phenomenal things. You can, like if you put your mind to it. And sometimes people need someone to trigger a thought in
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
Right.
or a challenge. People like challenges.
Right.
They like competition and all
They
that.
like that
You all know
competition.
that. Yeah.
That was serious
Absolutely.
competition for her.
Yeah.
40,000. Wow.
That's a lot of money. Well, Helen, thank you so much for all of your expert advice. We truly
Is our time up
appreciate it.
already?
I know it's gone by so quickly, but this is the thing. Girlfriends, the conversation continues. So we're asking you, go to our Instagram page, go to our Facebook page, and ask your questions there. And we will ask the expert, Helen Crawley Austin, to answer those questions. We want you to follow us, tag us. You guys, you'll be able to find the link to her book, Mastering Your Money. I love that it's a devotion and it asks you questions. You guys, this has been a phenomenal time because we are the girlfriend experts, and you can count on us to find experts in other areas of our lives so that we can be the best at everything. All right, you guys, we love you.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Helen. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen.
Bye.